This time, we're getting started for real. This is Battletech Oath of Endosteel Season 4, Episode 13. We're closing in on the end of 3046. Now, here are the goals you have more or less in some way told me. Celeste has one goal, which is to find dirt on Lachlan. Angus has one goal, which is to deal with Comstar. And Athena has two goals, one of which is get data on the con journey from before with Lachlan on pre-tech, which
the wording isn't great, but the general idea is that I wanted to get information that's going to help with like the because remember that planet that we visited,
Yes.
that we got the nukes and all that, you know,
I will point out you didn't bring back communications equipment or anything. You
No,
just
but
stole
we
nuclear
did
weapons.
But we did get specs or at least something on like the automation drones and other things that they had, if I recall.
I don't think that happened.
I thought we had to run away with the nukes.
Yeah.
We did have to run away with the nukes, but I remember Anko.
There was
getting
definitely plans
something.
to do things, and you threw those plans away because you decided to start the nuke mission way early and popped off. Well, I mean, you completely surprised them and got the nuke super duper easy.
Because the problem was we were worried that it was all going to go to shit because it was like people like it became obvious that somebody in our group was going to leak it, either between like Samuel Barrett being pissed off or like there were like other factors where like we needed to just go right this second, right now. I can't remember exactly.
Definitely popped off, and I believe what happened is that they were planning a rebellion. Where like the planet was gonna rebel, and then you were like, what if we rebel before the rebellion and screw both groups over? Let's do that right now.
That was what it was. That was what it was.
We learned about the rebellion, and then they were like, hey, do you want to get in on this? And then we're like, yeah, sure.
Rebellion, and then
we'd like to get in on it in a way that we'd like exclusive access.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and maybe like I'll have to go back and watch like a segment, or folks on the YouTubes, please get in the comments and correct AP. Yeah, because I remember Anko has like a drive or some sort of data set that we got and then we never used because we kind of did the time jump. Like it was a role that I did to like either sensors or whatever, or I can't remember exactly what, but I vaguely remember. So anyway, I would like to see if I can scrounge that up as Athena in an effort of learning more about pre-tech from those encounters that they had on that journey. Knowing that my dad, Lachlan, has probably told stories of like, oh yes, this is the planet that we visited. Maybe
he doesn't talk about that planet that much for the reason that you stole a bunch of nuclear weapons.
Fair.
And talking about stealing nuclear weapons is admitting you have nuclear weapons.
That's also fair.
Lachlan is playing I can't confirm or deny I have nuclear weapons, but if you come attack me, you'll definitely get attacked by nuclear weapons.
Wow, that's wild. I can think of at least one country that does that right now.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine where I got that.
What country that would be. Damn, that's crazy.
Anyway, that's the intention of that goal. I'm okay with dropping it or rephrasing it in some way that makes more sense.
I think it definitely needs to be rephrased.
Okay.
Your other goal is a lot more achievable, which is to organize a team to help to develop logistics automation R&D technologies.
Yeah, or just automation technologies.
Which is certainly a lot of words, for sure.
I forgot a goal, but I would like to add a character goal.
Yeah.
Of getting Badger on the Duchess's side.
Get Badger on the Duchess's side.
Because he's like a neutral kind of political actor, right? He's like the kind of man of the people thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's not strictly neutral. He is opposition to Lachlan in Lachlan's what he views as overreach of the Federated Suns charters, right? Like,
does she have a Senate seat?
Badger? I believe that Badger has temporarily become the president of the Senate, but he does not have voting capacity in any way. I believe that happened during the last Senate session, right? Badger was the president of the Senate, but he does not.
President pro tempore.
No, like
No, he's like
he's the
the
person that
role that
organizes the
Reinhardt-
vote and holds it and introduces all the measures, but he doesn't have a voting spot.
Got it. Yeah, he makes
he
something for the
was
treasury. He himself
given-
possess. I understand now.
He
Okay,
was
that's how it
given
works
the
then.
Duchess's like veto power / ability to break ties, but again, that is not inherent to that position and not specific to Badger.
Oh damn!
The,
All right,
the
we are.
position used to be Reinhold's position.
Yes, it
remember?
used to be Reinholz,
I remember that.
But the problem is that you're now a voting member rather than a neutral party.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So
Holy crap,
the
Patrick!
Senate is being reorganized.
All right. So, can I ask about all of the cool donations Badger has received?
Well,
how's his mansion looking the last few years?
Here's the other thing to note about
There's
Badger
impartiality.
is that he has been on the side of nobly unpopular positions, like the ability to organize unions.
What?
Yeah, we saw this with him and Lachlan.
I remember
all
that.
the way back in,
I remember
in
that.
campaign 3, and also I think we've seen it a little bit here
Wait.
in season 4, where he technically forming a union in the Federated Sons is illegal. But
Extremely illegal.
forming a group to talk about forming a union is not illegal. And as long as you're a private group with interests in forming a union, still perfectly legal. And Badger has brought his Battlemech to defend people who want to talk about
I remember
legalizing unions.
I do remember this.
Yeah. I read a book on the history of the Luddite movement, and this is actually exactly what they ended up doing, because it was illegal to have the Loomer people be in a union, so they would just have like an interest group about asking the local blacksmith to come with them and use their hammer to destroy the power mills and the power looms.
Oh my god!
It is wild how Luddite has
anyways.
been viewed as like an anti-technology group, and the actual history
it's a
of
workers'
what they
rights
were is very different.
The actual history is insanely awesome. Cool. Yeah, shout out
It's
to
almost
Nottinghamshire.
like the media has the corporate media has strongly intense. I sound like such a Marxist right now to anyone that's not clued in. This is real. Just go look up Luddite. It's way different than what you think it is.
Yeah, man.
It's been turned into a pejorative word when really it's just kind of people who didn't want to lose their jobs. Automation.
Dignity. Yeah, it's fine.
You mean
Anyways,
it's
let's
happening
go.
right now? Yeah, the cycle continues.
Yeah, Blood in the Machine is the one that I read. Pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I will tell you, Eric, since the last time we met, I've played a bunch of Victoria 3, and it has has activated my Marxism for sure.
Okay, we need to. Can we look? I can't believe I am the one of all people who's going to say this. So I admit it, but let's try to get on track.
We are on track. We're talking about Badger.
No.
Okay,
No,
so Badger
everyone-
has a number of unpopular policy opinions, which everyone but me has apparently forgotten about. But yeah, so he's kind of anti-fascist, anti-Lachlan seizing total control past the Duchess. But you are correct insofar as Badger has not strictly taken any party's political side, and is as neutral as someone in the position of a knight and a noble like himself can be. And he does that by when someone asks him about policy, he just grunts and walks away. That has done a lot to curb his political power. And I know you were just joking about all the private donations that he surely got, but he is not seen as a trustworthy corporate partner, if I can put it that way. You know what I mean? Again, I don't want to be like, he's the one uncorrupt man in Washington, but he actually is uncorrupt insofar as he is completely uninvolved.
I think I honed the second goal. Get data from the cons and the con about pre-tech. Just simplified it to that, so that way, I think my intention is
I will point out that will require you to go to space, beyond the bounds of space, find the pirate base where the cons are currently being held, peacefully of their own volition,
Well, I mean, I was just thinking the fleet has the data on it, right?
That's
one of the
that's a
ships.
long shot assumption you are making yourself.
I mean,
And by fleet,
right.
you mean the single returning jump ship that, like, oh, we were attacked by pirates and we're the only survivors that are left, but actually we're the pirates. You recall that happened last time, right?
That's one of my tertiary goals is to find out knowing who I'm dealing with in terms of the pirates and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so like
Your assumption is that the data is on the jump ship that's up there, and that is a wild assumption that may or may not be true.
I mean, fair. Okay, well,
what about the people you've talked to so far leads you to believe that they have a scientific inclination?
nothing.
Okay.
I'm hoping that they have data that they don't care about.
Okay. I have no follow-up to this.
Well, I mean, if it's an unachievable goal or it's one that's
I don't think
very
it's unachievable.
far-fetched,
I've outlined how achievable it is. It will require a mission to the periphery to find the real cons,
I mean, in some ways, I
not
think
these fake cons.
in some ways, I want to do that, but also I'm trying to make my goals smaller, so I don't want to like make one. Maybe like the first one is procure, or organize a team to, or organize organize a mission to the periphery to like see the cons. Maybe it's even through the pirates and being like, hey, I want to meet the previous cons.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess organize a mission to the periphery. I mean, is that like a multi-month journey? Because that's what I'm trying to minimize.
Yeah, it's really far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much always.
So I'm trying not to do that.
I understand.
So if you're
This is
saying
not
it's
a good goal,
impossible, okay.
Yeah, it's like being like, like a goal that takes you to, the other side of the world and being like, that's not too far, right? I know it's a huge ordeal to get there.
I mean, that's why I was hoping that in some way, like the data.
This is a huge goal. The data is not available in the way that you want it to be. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And that's even assuming such data exists in the first place. But if you want to get data from the cons, the real cons,
there's
you
your
need
goal.
to go to the real cons.
Well, there's your first goal. Determine the validity of the data, or like if it exists or not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, I think
If you want to.
I think even a goal before that would be to determine how much you can really trust these pirates who are fake.
True. Yeah, that's also true.
What's the one where the twins swap places? Not Freaky Friday, but
Parent Trap.
Parent Trap. Yeah, there's a Parent Trap situation going on here, and you are literally the only one who knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
You are the one who traps.
Okay.
All right. I think that's fair then. Determine if I can really trust the pirate cons, and then after that, I can figure out the data stuff.
We start with Angus McDougall. You have a mech Thunderdome with so many questions lying before you. It is an underground arena. There are questions that have been laid out by the construction staff as to, like, how heavy should the floor material be made to support, right? Because their assumption when they went to making it on behalf of Lachlan was that it was going to be like unarmored combat in the way that like no one be shooting guns and missiles at each other, so there wouldn't be any worry that like the audience would get sprayed by a laser and kill a dozen people. So they're just going to put like clear plastic barriers up and you can watch the action directly straight in the arena. But like if you want to have heavier mechs than like salvage mechs, like in industrial mechs punching each other, if you want to have true battle mech fights, you're going to need to reinforce the floor. and figure out like that. I mean, at that point, having people live will be nearly impossible without accidentally murdering them. The other option is that you can give up on it being a mech battle arena, because it's also partially designed to be a racetrack for like combat vehicles like Fox Scout cars or scimitars, hovercraft vehicles, because it's bowl shaped. The faster you go, the more you slide up the side of the wall, and now you've got like a Thunderdome Death Bowl Derby battle type thing. You've just got all this concept art from, you know, like artists and architects who are submitting their designs, but you're also missing some pretty major spots. You don't have anybody in HR to do onboarding, so even if you hire people, they won't even know what they're doing. You have no talent currently signed. There's nobody heading legal or financial, and you have no public relations, advertising, or sales. But you have an arena that's like 95% done, as long as what you're looking for is like loader mechs and industrial mechs, security mechs, anything that's like 30 tons or less with no lasers or missiles or PPCs, like running up and punching each other robot jock style.
Yeah, I have no idea about any of the industrial mechs that exist at this time, but okay.
Battlemaster, Scavenger,
That's true.
Muckraker, Buster.
These are all my nicknames.
What's the security mech one? It's called Peacemaker.
Damn. Okay.
I think there's one called the Copper.
Okay, I guess I'm going to set my first goal to narrow down to just contact Comstar and secure broadcasting rights.
Sure. You call Comstar, and they are willing to have you sit down with a acolyte to have a discussion.
What's extremely scary is that Comstar calls me.
No, I think you're going to call Comstar.
No. I know. Yeah.
Don't make this super weird. It's already weird enough. It is
Comstar.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Okay, so is there a question of money? Like, I assume I'm in a monetary position where I don't need backing for like a bank or a private funding in order to do this. Because like getting
your dad bought the spaceport out from under you.
Yeah.
You have one noble house worth of funds.
Right. I don't need to know the specific amount of money, but I need to know that when we go, but basically I need to know whether or not we're secure with funding.
A small army.
We don't require private investors. So if there's some sort of like fee that somebody wants to offer,
private investors would always help though. Why spend your money when you could spend somebody else's for 49% of the company?
That's the American way.
Capitalist. It happened right here. It just deep died instantly. It didn't even take anything. Hold on. I just said, wouldn't private investment be nice? And he goes, you know what? It would.
Well, I love this. AP, you're on your Marxist arc, and I'm on my capitalist arc. So let's just do it.
Unbelievable, Eric.
I will buy your low on your capitalist sympathies right now. Okay. I'll start it. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
What are interest rates like on Whittington right now, AP?
Yeah. Is money on sale?
What? I think interest rates in Whittington are probably really great. There hasn't been a war for almost a decade. There's new technological investment coming in from the military and noble alliance with the Lyran Commonwealth, which is forming the new Federated Commonwealth, a new super state. Eddie's pointing to himself for some reason. Sure. I don't remember why, but
so like, what's the APR?
Athena's getting it done with the technology.
The APR is good, Eric. I don't have an exact number for you because I don't know how the future economy of Battletech works. You know, if I say 6%,
Gamemaster.
I'm going to say 6%, right? And some guy is going to come out of nowhere and be like, well, actually, given the way that housing works in the Battletech universe, anything less than 20%, I'm going to be like, I shouldn't have just said anything.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. It's good. Okay. Wait, good for me or good for the bank?
It's good for you. It's a great.
Okay, money's on sale.
Let me be clear. This is the year.
Interest rates are low.
1999.
Interest rates are low. Right.
The economy is booming. It couldn't be a better time to live in America. The Matrix just came out and said that the year 1999 is the peak of human civilization. And now, 2 decades later, we believe them.
Yeah, and they thought they were being sarcastic, but it turns out
Actually,
that was
spot on.
just before late capitalism set in, and
That's not how.
I know.
Okay.
I literally
I'm trying to trigger you again.
No.
I just rewatched High Fidelity, and it is actually true. That time period is pretty bang on and great.
Here's the real reason why is that in the early days of the internet, everything was subsidized and you didn't need ads everywhere. That's why YouTube has ads everywhere now. You guys were just talking about how expensive it is to run cloud servers. Like, it used to be things were subsidized. It's the Wild West now. That money's all gone. Now you pay
hosts
for what you
servers.
get.
They got their own servers. I don't understand. It's their own supply. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay,
I mean,
look,
in another
doesn't
5
matter.
years,
But Eric,
we might
why
be
would I
looking
give up
back
an
on now
opportunity
as
to
a
make
tech
more
bubble,
money?
so-
Why would
That's
I
true.
leave money on the table, Eric? I don't understand. Why wouldn't I give 49% of my company away for truly inconsequential rights?
Okay. So I'll make a separate goal about securing separate private fundraising. I'll make a side bet there. But first one's obviously Comstar.
All right, so you are being directed to the office of a acolyte of Branch Phi IX.
Is that a 9 or an X?
It is
Right
a
now?
9, yes, but their official title is Acolyte Phi 9, but it's Roman numerals because that's how Comstar works.
Okay. I'm not talking to like a Magnetar with that name. Okay.
No, it's,
Sure.
their name is Peter Mark Paul Davidson.
Oh, okay. I thought their name was Phi IX. It's like, am I talking to
No,
Elon Musk's
Phi is
daughter?
the branch that they work for at Comstar.
Okay.
Their
That makes-
title
okay,
is
that makes way more
Acolyte
sense.
Phi
Phi
9.
9. Right. Okay. That's like their rank. Okay. Cool. All right. Do they have water?
At a Comstar office,
Yeah.
they have the greatest water you've ever tasted.
Absolutely. Okay.
They have that old style Terran machines from
Dasani?
200 years ago that
balance.
removed all the
They got the
radiation.
Star League Dasani, dude. Oh man.
Star League Dasani.
Okay.
They always have.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep it cool.
Some
with a double
people,
heat
they
sink.
come to the offices just for the water, you know?
They got the Star League, man.
They come in
Okay.
with their travel mug. They just stop by, talk to the tellers at the banking part, go over to the water fountain, fill their mug, and leave.
You see, this water isn't just like, clean and refreshing. It's got the right balance of minerals and everything that you would need.
It's got
to
everything plants
refresh your
crave.
water.
Yeah. I can literally see the halogen lights, the and the friggin' what are they called? Ficuses?
Yes.
The ficus plants and the
There's
water cooler,
linoleum
man.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. Okay, great.
Now, also, everyone is wearing hoods and white robes.
All right, yeah, Master
As
Davidson.
well.
Yeah, but like culturally sensitive. My robes.
At the time that these robes were designed, they were culturally sensitive 30 plus years ago.
Yeah.
They would not survive muster in a current age, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, let me talk to
So
Acolyte Davidson.
again, you walk into the Comstar offices, and the major branches here are, of course, communications and banking. But you're directed away from the tellers and the whatever we want to call the communication specialists, the telegramists, to
Sales.
a gentleman. He's slightly taller than Angus, a little broader. Maybe it's just the robes. I mean, all of these robes are voluminous, but this guy is wearing like the cargo pants version of robes. It has extra pockets for no apparent reason on the outside, and he has a gold chain with the Comstar logo on it as he approaches you. There's also like a weird blue like epaulets on his robes that you've never seen before, and he says, "Ah, welcome, my child, Angus McDougall. I understand that you're looking for financing opportunities for a underground mech fighting arena."
Right.
He holds
you
out
know
a
it better.
really
Yeah.
beefy arm to give you a handshake. And to be clear, this is not a predator handshake. It's just a regular handshake. And with one hand, not two hands.
I accept and I embrace. It's a very good, strong, firm handshake. Indeed, it's my father's designs, and I want to take this from the underground to the stars. You see, I have great vision for this
Come in
project.
my office and let's discuss your vision.
Wonderful. Oh, 1 second. Let me grab some water.
He actually laughs slightly as well.
Let me give you one.
He shuffles down. Now, again, you know what a typical office looks like with the linoleum and the carpeting and the plants and such. But when you go into down the hall, there's also like candles. And I don't mean like scented candles. I mean like 5 candles melted into like, one candle in a sort of Roman Catholicism. Rogue Trader style. Yeah, for sure. Because this place is also a religious institution, and there's all sorts of like banners, secular and non-secular recruiting material.
Yeah, they got the statuettes of the. Yeah,
it's clear that he is a true believer. Because he's got like texts on his wall. He's got like a framed photograph of
William Blake.
Yeah.
He's got the William Blake Jesus
portrait. He definitely
portrait.
has the Blake like signed photo, like portrait of Blake before death sort of deal.
Oh yeah. It's all like like stylized up like the Virgin Mary. Like it's okay. Anyways. Nice. I'm very excited. I drank my water very quickly because I'm excited, and I'm absolutely thrilled to talk to this guy.
Above his head is a quote that says, "No one wins a fight." Jerome Blake.
No one wins a fight. Never heard that before.
He just gives you a priestly smile and nods. And then for all of the religiousness of the rest of the room, his desk is a fully functional office desk, and he reaches in and begins pulling out some like loan paperwork. And I've never taken out a business loan. I assume there's forms that ask you for like, we need income, you to attach like financial statements and the viability of your proposition sort of deal.
Yeah, there's obviously that kind of stuff. But here's the
Angus. Why don't you outline for me your vision that you're going to take to the stars? Because there's nothing we here at Comstar take more seriously than a vision to go to the stars.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, because I do need to make this clear. Outside to UAP, is this like a stupid idea to have a private underground thing like broadcasted by Comstar? Is that like that's
pretty much the only way this thing's gonna make money?
Okay, good. Okay, it's not like because like I have to get like we're signing a contract with Comstar about an illegal operation, and so
it's not illegal.
I mean?
There's nothing illegal about what you're doing. It's underground because not underground like
it's not a metaphor.
It's literally underground. Do you remember you went under the spaceport to get there?
I know, but I thought it was both. I mean,
he hasn't revealed to anybody that it's there, but it is
there was a gray market.
legal. I mean, he owns the spaceport. He can do whatever he wants with it.
That's the answer. Thank you. Okay, good. Then let's go back. Okay, perfect. It is above board.
Is there a sanctioning body
for mech arenas? In fact, there is not. So Solaris hosts its own internal sanctioning body, but there are other mech arenas. They just aren't that big, and they do not have a unified like licensing or credentialing body. The Solaris Gaming Commission handles all of like the betting problems itself. It doesn't go to other people's planets. I mean, for one thing, most of the betting on these matches is done remotely on planets where the matches haven't arrived yet. You'll hear news of a match upcoming and you'd be like, oh, I think that this guy's gonna win. And then when the match happens, that match could have happened like months beforehand. The match hasn't reached you yet. And when it arrives, Comstar goes, okay, that guy won. You get your money now.
Do we hear of Outreach and Wolf Dragoon stuff at this point, or is that still way off?
No, I think at 3046, my understanding is that they almost certainly have taken Outreach. They definitely don't have the MRBC yet, though. That doesn't happen until like
Yeah,
the
that's until
50s.
after the clans. Yeah. I know that.
I mean,
yeah.
them destroying Comstar's hold over the MRB is not for a bit.
Okay. So that's not it. So it's still firmly in Comcast's grasp right now. Okay, cool.
It's Comstar. Okay. You keep saying Comcast.
Brother, is there a difference?
I mean, you don't have, you're far off.
Both of them are quasi-religious. Both of them are massive telecom companies.
In 3037, they made the move to open and become the largest hiring hall at Outreach. So
right,
it
but
exists,
that's just Mark stuff.
But the MRB is still run by Comstar for a bit, I believe.
Right, yeah. It's not until Comstar's stuff gets revealed. Okay. Cool. I'm cool with that. That works for me. All right, anyways.
Until 3052.
So I bring up, yeah, exactly. So I bring up my business pitch. I forget what you call it, the prospectus. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Sam, is that right?
What is your business pitch? You have to tell me that part.
Right. Well, okay. Well, the business pitch, the business pitch for this project is very simple. It is taking what is on Solaris 7 and bringing it closer to home, into the more of the Commonwealth over here.
To the
It
periphery.
is. Yeah. First off, with based on my experience and the growing experience of Solaris accredited mech pilots, we want to grow and foster the next and upcoming champions.
You're forming a farm
I'm
league.
calling it. I was going to say, I was like, I thank you. I could not think of the word. I was like, double A ball, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
minor league.
Yeah, it's a minor league.
Yeah.
Now, I
It
do
is-
have some technical issues. You want to take what's on Solaris and bring it here. I will point out that each of the Solaris arenas is owned by the host nation that owns that part of the city. Does that mean that this arena is a Davian-specific arena? Where Davian laws will apply? Which makes sense, because it's on a Davian planet.
My dad, do you have any direction on that?
Your dad gave you full creative manager rights.
Right. So if I didn't make it Davian,
You
then
could
it's probably
make it.
illegal.
It's underneath the spaceport, so you could make it international territory.
What makes more
Wouldn't
money?
you have to get like lots of like permits?
When you
and
say what
shit
makes
for
more
that?
money, he's like, it's going to take a few days to find out, but we at Comstar have the smartest minds in the inner sphere. I will get a team on it. I'll go call the nerds from Ada and New branches, and maybe Tao will work on it. We'll get back to you on that.
Perfect. But hopefully you can see that the broadcasting rights and opportunities available for you for Comstar here are considerable.
I agree that if this project was to work out, and if you get it off the ground, there is a new market to be opened here. I notice you don't have any talent signed right now.
If you build it, they will come situation right now. We're looking to get all of the marketing materials, the logistics set up, the ammunition set up. And I mean, and I say this really confidently, like, you know, almost like I'm not doing this, but imagine in my head the idea of leaning back in the chair with the feet up on the desk kind of like thing. And imagine, you know, and
Angus has
good
confidence.
Mechwarriors, you know, and yeah, good Mechwarriors will frankly find us.
I'm going to ask you to make a persuasion check with charisma.
Yeah, for sure.
It may not be called persuasion because I've switched
Systems.
between Sorry, it is
All right,
persuade.
Yeah, I have a +1 to this.
You are taking a -1 on this, but it's for
sure.
all the beans.
Okay.
This is for provisional acceptance of what you're doing.
Probably not good. What's a 5 get me?
Not great. You
Okay,
have a
what's
reroll?
required of me? No, I'm a warrior.
You're a warrior, huh?
So I fail. Okay. So I guess I don't secure the comp star rights.
I feel like AP always assumes we're all experts, but both me and Eric are warriors.
I learned
I'm the
this.
only expert.
I learned this from Gentlemen of the List, is that if I don't ask, people who are experts won't remember, and then will later be like, "Oh, I really should have re-rolled that.
Well, too bad for that.
I should have
My
re-rolled the
opinion.
thing that my character died from." And I was like,
So
"You could have re-rolled that."
You have literally one thing to keep track of on your character. that's whether or not you have the reroll available. You're sorry, I'm not trying to throw shade.
I feel like you have a whole character sheet to keep track of, but okay.
I don't know.
And a character story.
But like nothing there is really that important. The important thing is whether or not I can survive a reroll. Okay, well, I failed.
He takes a look at this provisionally off the top. You don't have any talent. You don't even know whether it'd be better for it to be like internationally sanctioned as like a neutral, all you need to get here is a passport. You don't even need to like have permission to come onto a Davian planet to get here, or whether it needs to be a pro Davian establishment. He says, this proposal is so interesting, and Comstar is deeply invested in making sure that it works, and we will do what it takes to help you reach the goals that you're looking for. I'm going to run this up the chain, and I'm going to run it sideways through our policy wonks, and we are going to get back to you with what we see as part of your vision.
All right, I'm dead. Okay, great. This is
now,
really
just
bad.
to be clear, this isn't a no. It's
I know
you can roll
they're
again.
They're going to take over.
Of course they're going to try to take over. That was never in question.
Yeah, okay. They're going to try to take over this.
You just called them Comcast 3 times. What do you want from me?
I get it. Okay, I just realized I have the stupidest and most amazing setup for getting Mechwarriors. Know what we're doing?
What are you doing?
The first one?
Yeah.
I want to get a Valentine Whittington grudge
Valentina
match.
Whittington grudge match?
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You really want to get that cross-show guest star status going on, okay?
No, why would you say that, AB? Right. That's beneath me.
Okay, I'm going to the Blades of Honor channel right now and typing EricVulgaris would like one of you to come onto Endosteel to kick his ass at Mechs.
Look,
that message has been sent. That's a real message that I really sent.
I think that's an enticing phrasing.
We'll see who's available on a Sunday afternoon between 3 and 5 p.m. every other week. That's probably not going to be James because he will 100% be asleep at this time.
Yeah.
Will it be Rad, the guy who's got multiple kids? Don't think so. I think it's probably going to be Neo Buzzard, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we will definitely see.
Okay.
But no, I think bring it back. What's wrong with stoking the the old international crises for personal gain? I see no problems with this.
You leave this meeting with his business card. He has promised to have his people get back to you about whether it would be better for you financially based on their perspective on your prospectus. And then they just want to make sure that you will continue to put in the work before they are going to move this forward. So they would like to have a Comstar adept look over your project and be unofficially attached as a sort of consultant.
Yeah. Okay, that works for me. As in, I don't really have a choice.
You can say no.
No, because this whole deal syncs without Comstar's broadcasting. So
You can say no. I didn't say you should. I said you can say
Yeah.
no.
true. Okay, well, so it goes. Thank you. I got some good goals going forward now. All right, someone else have a scene. I feel like I've been hogging up this whole show.
Okay. So just to be clear, you are being assigned a consultant for ranking as Adept Chi 7. Jennifer Cocque is a real name. I just don't want to pronounce it incorrectly in French.
How's it spelled?
Cocque. I believe it's supposed to be cook.
Yeah, I have no idea how that's pronounced. Anyway, I could do a scene, I suppose.
All right. What's Celeste up to?
So I think I want to do option 2.
Means rooster.
Like I want to do my find evidence thing before I do the Badger thing, because I feel like having that hard evidence against Lachlan makes it a lot more likely that Badger will want to join my team.
Sure.
And I think when I rolled last time on this, basically what we effectively determined is like the only thing that really has a paper trail we can run down is the nuke thing. Because everything else is like too long ago buried.
If you can bring evidence of Lachlan having nukes, I mean, you've heard about him having nukes. He's given a promise that whichever one of his 4 children impresses him the most will get access to. They'll inherit like the Greater McDougall estate. They'll inherit the space station that makes the majority of the money for the estate. And they'll inherit the pile of nuclear weapons, which is, you know, pretty big. I mean, honestly, they're a massive financial drain maintaining them, but they're great for negotiations.
Well, and they're leaking nuke radiation. They're like horrible dirty bombs, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they were leaking radiation, you know, 20 years ago when he first got them. Yeah. Like I said, they cost an enormous amount of money to maintain, but they're nearly useless, but they're also still quite scary.
Yeah, no one wants to fuck with me now, though.
You don't know where on the planet they're located.
So I guess my question is like, I want to find Samuel Barrett.
Amazing.
Because I think he's the best option for hard evidence on this particular thing.
God, I want to imagine this is like trying to find Cad Bane in Clone Wars. Or
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, I need a bad dude.
And the other thing is like, yeah, I feel like he's the best thread, because like everyone on Whittington who knows about this is either like already like has a reason why they haven't like tried to pursue it. Like they already like don't have the hard evidence like the Duchess or Badger, or they're like in Lachlan's pocket, like, you know, Tyr Sauron, for example, who probably like it would really have the best records and shit because he is the one who runs the shipping stuff.
And also was made a knight directly by Lachlan. I mean,
right? Like, there's no way
that's a hard ass for that betrayal.
Right, like the whole point of like that character was like I spent time and effort making him like Lachlan's number one guy. Yeah. But anyway, but so yeah, so I think Samuel Barrett is the best option here.
This will be with your ridiculous +2 charisma, which I remembered this time because in catching up on the last episode, the last 10 minutes was a discussion about how you had +2 charisma, and I forgot every single time.
But I have a -1 in culture spacer, so it all balances right out.
You have a +1 on this roll.
Yes.
I'm going to ask for at least an 8 to get some hint of his location.
I forgot about this, that we play this in Tabletop Simulator. Does someone just want to roll for me?
All right, I got you. That is a 8-9.
Nice. So I've got a hit.
You get word that Samuel Barrett has been sighted on a nearby world. Part of the problem is that he no longer owns a mercenary company, right? Like, that's a rough time for him, having lost essentially his business. But he is hanging out on Tancredi, which is pretty close by. I think it's about a single jump away. And he's still on paper a mercenary, but he's now essentially more like a private military consultant. And I don't mean like he's a soldier that goes out and does stuff. He helps instruct nobles how to run their noble guard. But he also doesn't run the noble guard, to be clear. Like, he's not a ranking member in any way. He's the guy that helps you, like, oh, I just became a or, you know, like, I inherited my dad's noble guard. What do I need to know about running a noble guard? Like, how expensive is this going to be? Can I use it to brutalize the peasantry?
Lives in palaces and like is like, yeah, what you need to do here is like take their water.
Yeah, exactly. He's a problem solutions guy, but he is not the problem solver guy.
No, he's like if Jafar was a consultant. He's like like a vizier for,
he's a vizier.
I mean, this role does exist in like the real world. Like, people
I know
this.
It does. Yes, I mean, it's also from the origin of the term Banana Republic. Yeah.
Okay. Is that what McKinsey does? Is that what they do?
Okay. More like former Blackwater, but
yeah,
academy. It's
whatever
changed
at least twice
since then.
No, it's like Z, isn't it, or Chi?
It's changed again. Yeah.
Or that the holding company? I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. So I want to get Samuel, but I feel like the problem is like if he thinks I'm connected with Lachlan, he's just like not going to want to talk to me. All, right?
There's a 0% chance that if he searches for your name or just asks a random person, do you know who Celeste Reincolt is? They're going to say that's the daughter of Lachlan McDougall.
Yeah, and then
this is not a secret. You've been legitimized. I mean, there's a non-zero chance he's actually met Celeste.
No, he has. He was on they were on the ship together.
There's
for like
no chance he doesn't
months.
know who Celeste is when you call him then.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think of like what she would do to try to make sure he actually answers the call, because I'm worried that he's just like not going to take my calls if he thinks that. Fuck it. I think she's just going to start by just like trying to send him a message, right? So I guess it would be like a video message through Comstar.
You also have the option of trying to do a live connection through Comstar, which would be very expensive, of the kind that like it's a one shot, you get like one a year, but it's close enough that your two HPGs could connect together briefly for a minute or so.
Maybe she'll invite him to have that conversation with her.
Okay. 2 days later, you get an update saying that he is willing to have a extremely brief conversation to figure out what it is you want.
Yeah. So, yeah, she'll agree. So, yeah. Do I need to make a rule to be able to afford this?
No.
Okay.
But this is like, this is your once a year big splurge moment. You know what I mean? This is your vacation, essentially. And you're a noble, so like this is not peanuts sort of deal. Like you could probably buy a Battlemech for the amount that you're about to spend on talking to a guy on another planet. When the lights come on in the room in the Comstar office of like the holographic display showing him, he is seated in a very similar neutral booth like you. He is 100% swanked up. This guy is wearing like a half cape, like a royal blue sash. He has a noble's military uniform cut in the Federated Sun style, but of the style for us today, it would look like Vietnam era sort of dress uniform. Like it's of the older style like 20,
flak
30,
jacket?
40 years. No, not
Okay.
the dress uniform from like 50 or 60 years ago is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
there's a sense of class and style to him of an older age. And to be clear, this is an age essentially before he was born. Like he is trying to evoke an image of elder, like agent of war. He has a ton of ribbons and almost no medals on this uniform. No unit patch, nothing to go with that. He has not aged well. It has weathered him for sure. And he is way less fanciful and flirtatious and full of life than you recall from him. He is a lot more stern and perhaps more used to taking orders than giving them. As he doesn't say anything, he just stares at you while waiting for you to speak.
She'll say, Barrett, it's been quite a long time, but we don't have long, so I'm not going to waste time with pleasantries. Gonna cut right to it. From what I recall, the timing of your exit from working with my father was aligned with something that I'm trying to get more information on. Everybody in Whittington is either staked out their position and has nothing on it, or is in his pocket. So you're the only option for finding out what I need to know.
My apologies, Lady Reincolt, but if I'm the only person you have left to fall back on, I have to ask, what are you going to give me that I haven't already lost from opposing your father already?
Chance to fuck him over one last time.
That's not a financially sound business proposition.
It seems like you're doing well enough on the financial point of things, but it also seems like there's something that's been gnawing at you, giving you a chance to deal with the latter.
Okay. Once again, just like with Eric, this is for all the beans. But unlike with Eric, this is not a provisional first run draft. This is literally for all the beans. When you make this roll, if it is a bad roll, Barrett is going to hang up and walk away.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I guess the question is like, is Celeste onto something, right? Like it's clear that like something is like.
I would not have let you make this call if that was not the case.
No, right. Okay, sure. Okay. So
in the same way that I've kind of pushed Eddie away from the,
The data.
Yeah, I wouldn't. This show meets so often. I would hate to just put you down a plot line that's just like, and then nothing happens at the end.
Yeah.
The real journey was the journey we took, not the destination.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'll roll this one up then. I've got Persuasion 0.
Okay,
and
so you're
I've
looking at
got
+2.
Yeah, +2. It's a shame that I couldn't use Perception here because I'm really good at Perception, but I don't think I've ever rolled it. Do you want to roll for me again, AP?
I will roll for you again. It's hot dice. They're so red. That's a 11.
Whoa. With the +2?
That's with the +2, yeah. 11 total.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Good roll.
He stands up, which makes him seem very tall in the booth that you're in, and he says, I will be free from speaking engagements next week, and I will petition to be free from responsibilities for the next month or two. Securing dropship transport to your planet will not be an issue. I will see you soon, my lady.
Excellent. And
like
it
he
just
clicks
so
his
happens,
heels, it gives you a bow, and like you see the countdown timer in the corners, like 3, 2, 1, call ended.
Yeah.
You
So
hear
there-
the whole facility shaking, by the way, as the transmitter that's been going full power, like beep, 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 powers down.
Yeah, so Celeste is gonna have to work out something with the Duchess to make a good excuse for why Barrett's coming.
Yeah, that would be wise.
Yeah, so I guess let's jump to Eddie and maybe we can do that scene next.
I also want to make sure that like non-Battletech fans understand that the size of the HPG dishes are like the size of those giant SETI arrays in like Mexico and shit. Like they're huge fucking super massive dishes. Easily the size of buildings.
Yeah.
You mean like the one that is down in Puerto Rico that's no longer in use? But
Yeah.
The
They're like SETI
GoldenEye?
radio
Yeah.
telescopes. Yeah.
It's like that, but on a swivel mount. And yeah, they're the only people in the universe that understand how to operate them. So they get an exclusive contract.
Wow.
Good deal.
Okay, let me just make some notes here. That Samuel Barrett's coming to your town.
To town. Oh my god.
He'll be here just in time for the winter.
He's a fan favorite. And by fan favorite, I really mean cast favorite.
Yeah, it's just the cast.
He's such a random character that we just like decided we never wanted to leave alone.
If I remember, he was originally an enemy agent, and you guys were just like, damn, we just like him so much.
No, it was 100% because Eric was pissed off that we lost every round of initiative to him. So then Eric hired him.
Oh my god.
Got tactician, what can I say?
Yeah.
He's a genius.
He was a mercenary.
Athena, what do you got for me now?
Right. So I think it makes sense to try to tackle organizing the team for logistics of automation technologies. And there's kind of a different. There's two paths that I can imagine taking this. One, it's basically creating a team that's interfacing with that like scientific conglomerate or whatever.
The Mechwarriors Center for Science and Research Technology Development.
Well, there's that. But this team specifically is doing research and also interfaces with that galactic scientific group that I met for the cons. So like potentially being able to like petition things with them or figuring out what's going on in the galaxy around these kinds of techs. But yeah, so I think organizing the team for logistics automation technologies, and then I think one of their goals is how do we automate things in the spaceport with the underground perhaps benefiting.
So you want to figure out how you can integrate ammunition purchasing with the arena.
Ammunition purchasing, like moving of things, like from place to place in automated and rapid fashion. Or an efficient fashion.
Now, I'm going to be straightforward with you. The people who own the spaceport would love to have automation, and the people who work at the spaceport would hate to have automation.
Sure.
Okay, just making sure that's understood. I think that this is going to be a role unless you wanted to make it, unless you have very specific ideas of what you'd like to do and would like to discuss it with the CEO of Slogan here. For the ammunition company. His name is Peter Hardwood.
Oh, Peter Hardwood. Okay.
Well, I was gonna steal Lance Hardwood from How I Met Your Mother, but I felt like that'd be too on the nose. Ted Mosby.
Well, I mean, I don't have like a specific thing necessarily. Like, I think. Yeah, in terms of this is kind of like Athena hasn't yet gotten on the nose of like, oh wait, there are people that are going to be displaced of this automation work. However, there are ways of mitigating that. Just working on education centers to educate them on how to maintain the automation.
I think organizing this is either going to be a leadership intelligence or bureaucracy intelligence role. This isn't to like fully get the whole project done, but this is pulling together the staff and resources necessary to even kick the project off.
Okay.
This is you doing, what's it called? An IPO? This is your IPO pitch.
Okay.
You're like, we have an investment potential here for a future in innovation and automation and ammunition design. I want to get you behind this. How can we get your money in my pocket?
I have an idea, and I'm just going to throw it out there. I am skilled in culture spacer, and I'm wondering if I can do a pre-roll to this to try to get the workers on my side. Like,
even though you're literally taking their jobs potentially.
Well, no, like
okay.
the idea.
You pitch me on this.
Yeah, the idea is like, hey, something's going to need to maintain these automations. Somebody's going to need to do that.
Boy, let me tell you, you sound like you just walked into a union meeting to a frosty reception. What you just pitched is exactly what companies pitch to miners for 100 years in West Virginia.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Hey, listen, we are going to replace you with machines, but those machines need mechanics. There will still be some jobs here. Will they be the job that you know how to do? No. But there will be jobs.
Fine, then I won't. I mean, if you don't think it's
I'm not saying you can't get the workers on your side. I'm just saying your
that's
pitch
not the
stinks.
pitch.
Yeah,
okay.
Your pitch stinks.
All right.
Well, now, actually, if you rephrase it to something really cruel and heartbreaking, but truthful, like the automation is coming anyway. You see it on the horizon. If you act now, you can help write your destiny instead of being forced into whatever my father forces you to take.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You choose what you want to bring to the table and stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I mean, it's the cold truth, right? It's coming anyway. You may as well get ahead
now,
of the curve.
if you fail this roll, it's going to be bad. I feel like I've said that of all of the rolls tonight. Like there's no stake rolls here tonight.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay, culture spacer with charisma.
All right.
And again, this is just a preface to give yourself a bonus for another roll.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. I got 2 dice here. I have a 14 in charisma, and I have a rank 2 in spacer, so I have a
so that's a plus bonus. 2 total, I believe.
Yeah.
All right.
Because 14. Oh yeah, that's right. Because like this
14 is a plus, or 13 is a +1, so 14 is also a +1. All right.
Oh, whoops! I meant to.
It's okay. That's a 10. That's a 9 total. All right. You sit down and have some hard conversations with the spaceport workers about the future, and the bosses of the union are mostly super corrupt criminals who would love to still be employed at the end of all of this, because as long as they have their hands in the pocket here, they can continue to smuggle things in and commit random crimes and steal shit. So it is in their best interest to work with you and make sure that even if the whole union suffers, as long as the bosses are good, they can keep doing what they're doing. Hey, I didn't set the situation up. When choosing a character, Eric went, I am a corrupt criminal boss of the spaceport.
That's true.
I did not presuppose these conditions. So going forward on this next roll, you now have a +1 towards bureaucracy intelligence or leadership intelligence.
Okay.
To set up. So the union is now getting their hands behind it, what you're doing, which includes mob money, essentially.
So I think I then have a +1 on this because I have a 0 rank in leadership or bureaucracy.
Okay.
And I have a 12 in intelligence.
Yes, that is true. When you say 0 rank, that means you put 1 skill point in it.
Yes, sorry. Yes. I have a 0 bonus.
You have a +1 total on this roll. You need an 8.
All right.
So you got to hit a 7 or higher on these dice.
That
is a 10 total, or 11 with your bonus.
All right. It's pretty good.
Peter Hardwood, that scientist, political science kid that has joined your team.
Oh, that's right.
Other people, more NPCs are coming into the room as you lay out your vision for how this is going to work out. And there is high energy here. Papers are going around. People are trading contact information. Coffee is coming in continually. People are being sent out on runs to like get bagels, get pizza, come back in here. As this project takes on a life of its own, as people are trying to work out like, how do we get the ammunition being produced at this facility across the planet into the hands of people that want it, and do it with as few people being involved as possible. Like, this is a planet that has a history of when people are handling ammunition, it blows up and kills half the nobility. They want to be
safety.
Yeah, they want to make sure that safety concerns and automation are a priority here. They want to make sure that the marketing is on point, that the specter of the past remains in the past. People from all sorts of different departments are coming together, correcting each other, talking over each other. There's pushing, but there's this sense of camaraderie and energy. And you realize that like 90% of the work on this project is going to be done in the next 6 hours. And the last 10% is the hard work that's going to be done to like finalize it and bring it all together. But you have a good starting point.
All right. And I think like there's it's kind of like a reflection of, you know, with what happened to the previous generations when there was that massive explosion in the hangar. I think there's like a moment where Athena remembers like the stories that Lachlan or the others in that generation would tell, like auntie. Well, maybe they probably wouldn't tell when I was that young, but anyway.
Okay.
Great.
All of you are being called to a family meeting.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay. I mean, I answer family.
Okay. Your stepmother, just to be clear, it's your stepmom sending a text like, be here, we have a problem. Got it. Sort of deal.
My stepmother, my mother.
It's your real mother, not your stepmother. The three of you are the only people in the room, but you can see that someone has left on a holographically projected image of your younger brother Menelaus, who you guys left. Like, you spent almost a full year in space going to Solaris. He's 16 years old now. He gained like a solid 8 inches in height and like 50 pounds of muscle and is totally ripped, walking around in a bathing suit. And there's some really salacious shitty headlines from a bunch of black news companies that are like the new hunk in town, and like some like really like thirsty ass commentary about him in all these tabloids and like social media. I mean, again, this is the social media of the 80s, so you know, like news clippings or whatever, and like television news shows where it's like, and today there was another spotting of Menelaus here, and you know, like it's like a super tight zoom in of him at a private pool. You could tell that the photographer is like climbing the fence, like hanging sideways paparazzi style, to get a zoom in on his wet swim trunks on his ass.
Gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. I mean, all of you went through something like this when you were a teenager, where you got objectified and your parents handled it for you, and your parents are busy and they want you to handle it for your younger brother. Because unlike the rest of you, he doesn't have a house to inherit. He doesn't have political power, and he hasn't shown any interest in it so far. And the official tagline of the family is, you know, like, he's off limits. Don't bother him. He's the Baron Trump of the family. Don't talk about him. And since you've been gone, that has changed.
I can breathe for the first time?
Yeah, as soon as I said it like that, I knew it was a mistake.
Yeah.
I knew it was a mistake.
What are we gonna do about this?
I honestly think Athena just like, well, so
You
Because
had your
Athena-
hot phase on camera where you showed up
yeah,
like dressing and having P Sensei show up and be like, yeah, that's right. You just gotta imagine everybody's naked all the time.
yeah, exactly. I went through my awkward phrase.
That was only like 6 months ago in game
I know.
time.
She's a late bloomer.
I was a
What do
late
you want
bloomer.
me-
Yes, I was just going to say I'm a
Yeah,
late bloomer.
exactly.
Okay. Oh my god. And it's like, well, it was bound to happen at some point.
Has anyone bothered to ask how he feels about it?
I've been quite busy, but so no, I haven't had a chance.
Well, seems like that would be the first step.
I suppose so. I
Angus,
think-
any thoughts?
I've been so like you can see that Angus has been working so hard, and that for like probably one of the first times you've seen him, he's just been scheming, you know, this whole time. Like he's constantly thinking about this project and how to get this arena up and running. So when you ask him when you have thoughts, he's like, huh, yeah, you know, and like he just goes back down.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just like-
Athena's gonna go.
Absentmindedly, you know.
Well, Angus, I hate to break it to you because I know you are so very busy right now, but you're probably going to be the one who has got to talk to him because I don't know if you remember being 16 years old. That was only about 3 years ago now, but I don't think you would have wanted to talk about this with your sister.
I'm literally going over like numbers, figures, and projections and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like I actually want to do this and help this kid, but like I love the idea that I'm not even like, you know.
Yeah.
You're not fully present.
absent.
I'm imagining you
Yeah.
have like one of those like folios, right? You have like the manila folders. She's just gonna Celeste is just gonna grab
Just
one
charts.
of the folders, pull it out of your hands, and then smack you on the head with it.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah. And, like,
Hey, come on.
you're not listening to me.
All right, you call that's fair. That's very fair.
We
All right.
need to help our brother. And this is not really the sort of thing that any young teenager wants to talk about with their sisters. Look, if this was the reverse. Actually, I'm imagining that he turns looks to Athena and is like, in fact, this is exactly what had to happen before. I was the one who talked to you. He wasn't going to do shit.
I was about to say this. We've gone through this, and I just look at Angus and I said, I mean, you didn't really have much choice since you only had sisters to look up to. Would you have preferred to have father talk to you about what's going on? Looking at Angus.
God no. Yeah. God no, that'd be terrifying. Look, okay, and the laminated charts and stuff like that are off to the side or whatever. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll help the kid. I'll give him a smack about how to walk the straight and narrow.
But don't take him to a
but, like-
strip club.
I would never.
Angus.
Not
Angus.
All right.
2 more years. Then you guys can do whatever girl shit you want. But he's 16. No strip club.
All right.
I'm just now trying to picture what the hell you did with Angus and like where you took Angus to have this talk.
I mean, what the hell did Lachlan do for me at that age?
Well, because that's what I'm saying is like it was probably Celeste or myself.
I imagine this is the kind of shit that Lachlan would entirely have ignored. But I'll leave that up to AP.
It's true.
because the whole thing was Lachlan was like kind of a pretty decent dad until Xenia died, and then it just like destroyed him as a person with feelings. So I can't imagine that he like suddenly about faced on that particular policy.
I agree. However, your mom's is very keen at maintaining political hierarchy.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm getting at is Celeste
I would
is
point
gonna
out that
push
mom's
this.
the one who called you here,
Yeah,
not your
but
dad.
So Celeste is pushing this onto Angus. That's the male
Just like the way
relative.
your mom pushed this onto you. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
You've learned well.
It's a family tradition.
Damn time-honored tradition, yeah. Okay.
Delegation is the true sign of a leader.
All right. Well, I'm gonna fucking do it. Like, I won't. Okay, I won't take him to a strip club. Look, I'll just hit him. It's fine.
Angus, this isn't the streets of Solaris.
It worked for me. Look, this is one of the things I have direct personal experience with. And if I had someone go around punching me in the face when I was messing up, I would be so successful right now.
To his credit, it did take me hitting him a lot of times in a mech to get him to shape up. So, I mean, he does have kind of a point.
That's it.
I mean,
we'll put him in a mech.
just use the non-lethal weapons that we acquired in Solaris. It's fine.
Yeah, come on. You're kidding. That'd be so funny. Be like, oh, I can't take him to a. Okay, my sisters are preventing me from taking you to.
You just take him to a cage match instead, like sign him up for the cage match instead of a strip club.
I was gonna take him to a gun range instead. Have fun.
Boy, there you go.
Oh my god.
I'll figure out a way. That's a good place to have a heart to heart.
Yeah, why
A
not?
gun range?
Yeah.
No, just take him to a Thai kickboxing match. It's totally fine.
You gotta
You
do
don't
the
agree?
classic Norwegian television thing, which is where you
Saunas?
and your dad go fishing on a boat. You face different directions back to back, so you don't have to look at each other. And then you talk about your problems very briefly over a 5-hour fishing trip. Get about 15 minutes of conversation in, and that's the deepest emotion you ever show.
That's probably the closest Lachlan ever would have done. Fishing trip seems about right.
This is real, by the way. The thing I'm talking about is real. It's real television.
I love the little nuggets you just drop in here. I'm like, where what?
How do you, I don't know how you know this.
I honestly
but
feel
I
like that's
respect
a
it.
strong. I think that's a great way to communicate, honestly. But I just also like fishing, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
We're gonna gun range it instead.
Okay. You're going to a gun range with your younger brother. Is anyone else
He's
coming,
16.
or is it just the two of you?
Apparently, no one else wants to come, but I'm supposed to have a heart to heart here at the gun range to tell him that he needs to, keep it low key.
Keep it low key. Got it.
Well, that wasn't quite what I love that that's how Angus interpreted it, because the whole thing was that she was like, well, we need to see what he wants. And you're like, I want him to be low key, which is so good. It's so good.
Oh,
It's a game of telephone.
The problem is that, he's acting, he's going too loud. He needs to tone it down, or like how to do it more quietly.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach him how to do it more quietly.
No, I mean, that's
Guns.
not an unreasonable.
Guns.
I love it. I love it.
So, oops.
Oh my god. I was going to say that Athena, I think this gun range in particular is like, no, because the ammo startup is specifically for...
It's for Battlemech and military vehicle ammunition.
Never mind. I was like, oh my god.
All right, so your brother shows up. Menelaus is wearing a Panamanian hat that has a pink ribbon with like a giant ass bow on it, humongous sunglasses, like paramilitary fatigues in the like forest camo style, green, brown, black, all
Woodland
that
camo,
noise. And he brought his own gun in a gun case.
Has his own gun?
He does have
We
his
all
own
have
gun.
guns.
The hell, man? See, I thought we were gonna rent the Tipman 98s. The dang paintball gun. Okay.
Oh, he says, oh,
The standards.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I thought we were bringing our own.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool.
No.
Tell me about
I
it.
can have someone come and pick it up, and we can.
No. I insist. Keep it. But you have to tell me about it. And what kind of gun is it? What's he into?
I'm trying to remember.
You
what
don't
this
have to
thing's
give me the
called.
make and model, but like.
No, but
you
it's
can-
actually a famous Battletech rifle.
Okay.
It's the like federated long arm.
It's an actual rifle.
Yeah, so it is an actual rifle which has stats for it. A federated Barrett M42B rifle system.
Okay. Damn.
So it can switch between being a light machine gun, a assault rifle, or like a sniper rifle. I believe are its 3 modes. He has it.
Sure, so it's just everything. Got it.
He has it with a laser sight and an underbarrel grenade launcher, which isn't strictly legal, but as he's a noble, he just does it. There's no grenade in there, but it's kind of like a status symbol. Like when he pulls it out at the range master's like, you can't have that. So he removes the attachment. This is a big rifle, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Like it's enormous.
Yeah. How does he hold it?
Well, it has a like a wizardry recoil system that's like a 3-part tripod that takes the kick on it for you.
Ah.
But this thing it weighs a enormous amount. I believe the gun is something like 16 to 18 pounds.
I was gonna say, like, this is why he's gained 50 pounds of muscle, right? He's been carrying.
Oh, no wonder you've been.
gun.
Yeah, no wonder you've been hitting the gym. This thing weighs a freaking ton.
Oh yeah, I've just been hanging out, just trying some things while everybody's been away, and no one told me they were leaving or said anything before you left, and then all of a sudden all the attention was on me. So I just kind of been hanging out at the gun range because it's the one place where the cameras can't follow me because it's private. Also, everyone here is heavily armed. Not a good place to break into. Not a good one. Took me a couple months to figure this trick out. One neat trick. How have you been? You seem like you're kind of having a breakdown.
I'm like dumbfounded. This kid has figured out stuff more than I have.
He turns towards you. He's like, I thought your match was really cool. And, I'm sorry that our sisters came and stole your title immediately. That was pretty bad.
It's okay. Hey, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be giving you advice.
I would never do something like that to you, just so you know. We brothers have to stick together. He puts a hand on your shoulder.
I'm into it. Okay, cool. I have a new friend now. All right, Menelaus.
Your brother who you haven't talked to.
It was a little fucked up when I did.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it's true.
I did kind of really just come all the way across the galaxy to crush my brother's dreams. That was a little shitty.
You come here to talk to him about being sexually objectified, and you're like, I've literally never talked to my brother before.
Yeah. And the other thing, I guess, is also I'm like wondering if this guy's gonna have, with a name like Menelaus, is he gonna get married to Helena Troy? Are we gonna have a problem?
Now, one thing you learn about him real quick is that he is terrible at shooting. Not that he doesn't follow the rules or anything. He's safe around the guns. He's just a bad shot. He's just not good.
Did he inherit did he get one of Lachlan's mechs? I feel like Lachlan gave one to every one of the kids.
He's not a mech warrior. Hasn't trained to be a mech warrior either.
Really? That doesn't seem
Lachlan would like him to be a mech warrior, but Menelaus is not. That's not the kind of path he's looking forward to.
He's just not interested. Got it.
Got it. Okay.
Good
yeah. So like
this is one of those guns that's effective out to like you know, a half-kilometer sort of deal, and he's not hitting targets at like 500 feet.
Here's the thing, though.
Just
I also
steady.
don't have it. It's okay. I also don't have shooting, so like it's kind of the blind leading the blind here.
What are you using here at the range? You're just renting a stock rifle?
Yeah, dude, I told you, like the Tipman, you know, like the paintball gun that everyone gets as the rental, like you know, whatever that gun equivalent is at the dang range.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, man.
I own my own rifle, so
yeah.
It's America.
I don't know fish. I used to I don't know, like I used to only borrow Fish's guns. I forgot. I need one for myself. I don't know. So I thought it would just be kind of fun for us to have like a fun little
standard like bolt action, some sort of, you know, like a hunting rifle.
Yeah, give me a nice like.
It looks so small next to your brother's gun.
Give me like a Mauser 1898. Like give me like a dang like SMLE you know, bolt action.
You want to roll dexterity at -1 to see how you shoot here, since you don't have the shooting ballistics skill?
No, I think there's actually kind of I don't judge him on his shooting, and hopefully he doesn't judge it on me. I feel like this would just be a fun montage of us just like kind of and accidentally like bonding, or not even accidentally, just intentionally bonding, and like all of our shots are like absolutely shit, and like we're not getting anywhere close to any sort of accuracy whatsoever. We're not reckless about it, you know. We're not like closing our eyes. We just suck at it. And we just kind of
you guys go on and on until it's time to close up. The range master comes over to you. He's wearing reflective Oakleys and like gigantic orange.
I immediately see it in my head.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No,
he's wearing like a light green tan shirt, t-shirt. Yep, and like cargo shorts, and he's just like,
what is every Marine stationed in San Diego? Sorry. Okay.
He's taking out his earplugs. Says, "Gentlemen, it's time to call it in for a day. But can I say, my lords, you may be better suited to laser rifles than ballistics. It's a good thing that you're a mech warrior instead of an infantryman, sir." He slaps you on the back.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good thing for Whittington, that's for sure. Yeah. And that's when I look at Menelaus and I'm just like, yeah, isn't it? And like kind of looking at whether or not he has any inkling to be a mech warrior.
He turns toward you and he says, a weird thing to say. You want to know if I want to be a mech warrior? I don't, you know, a lot of people want me to be a mech warrior, but it's just really violent, you know? Why did the two of you smile when I said that? It's literally...
We're at a gun range.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, is Menelaus
I'm going to be straightforward with you. I know plenty of people at the gun range that just go to shoot, you know, as a stress relief.
Yeah, I also... I pilot a mech as a stress relief.
Menelaus looks at you very seriously and says, I know that you are a gladiator, but you're also a soldier, and you've killed people for real in your mech. You know, they call you the hero of Garuda Pass, or helping organize our sisters when that ambush happened all the way back at the beginning of the season. And, you know, I don't want to have to kill people. I don't want that kind of... This is fine. This is fine. Shooting at a range to deal with people following me around trying to take pictures of me shirtless. That's fine. I mean, that just comes with being noble-born. But no one said that I had to kill people, and I don't want to be in a position where I have to do that. It just feels wrong. It doesn't feel like it's something that Mom would want.
Probably right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Menelaus, you were born in the wrong time.
A lot of people say that about a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that the only time we have is the time that we have. Saw that in a really sick movie trilogy once.
there was a time, I'm talking like way back in the day. And in the Star League, we could rest and knowing that we were safe. But listen,
The Star League was at war constantly.
right, but not if you were within the hegemony.
Sure, if you were inside the borders and not on the periphery, it was great. But it was also at
course,
war
not an
with the
Atarian.
periphery pretty much constantly.
Yeah, but think of it from the average person's perspective, from within the Star League.
I'm sure it was great to be within the Star League.
Right.
Right up until the
You could
point where
afford.
it fell apart and they all fought each other, which makes it seem like it was somewhat less cohesive.
Look, the Amara Civil War is like, we're not going to get into it. Okay, it was about a lot of things, but here's the. Look,
It's about
okay,
a
look,
lot of
damn
things.
it, man.
Hold on, EricVulgaris. You're walking into dangerous territory
know.
when your words are
I
the
stopped.
Civil
I
War
stopped
was a
myself.
lot of things.
I know. I stopped myself. Don't worry. I stopped it. It's under control. How are
Okay.
you? The question the thing I wanted to bring up to him is like, I want to do the fucking John Adams quote to him, where it's like, listen, from the things I've seen and had to endure, I don't relish in it. It's just a reality of the world that we live in. People out there want to kill us. Within 2 months of us is could be a combined invasion force assembling, using us as a launching pad into more. Literally, when you were born, the head of our group gave away dinner plates of planets on the Lao border in the March. Like, this is the world that we live in. I would love to not have to be warriors and we could just do whatever. But that's not reality. The world requires killers.
I would like
Maybe it's always has.
a persuasion check with charisma.
I don't think this would never persuade him. This is more persuading myself.
Okay.
Honestly.
Sure.
To justify this. I study war so my kids can study whatever. You know that quote? I'm like kind of like, I'm reaching for that, you know?
Yeah. That's a 7 plus.
Yeah. 7, yeah. What is it about human nature that makes everyone derive back into conflict, Menelaus?
I'm 16. We didn't study this yet in sophomore civics class.
See, there you go. So you're still learning from books and from teachers. You gotta learn on the streets.
Gotta get my answers from the streets. Okay.
Not everything you will learn will be taught to you in a classroom formally.
This is the first time in his life he's heard that.
Yeah. Like, the world's I light up. I don't smoke. It'd be a great time to start lighting up a cigarette. And I say,
Range Master walks past says, you guys do have to leave here. You want a cigarette?
Oh, no, let's go. I love one. Thank you. Oh, do you have a light as well? Listen, Menelaus. World's terrible. I'm just gonna light up a cigarette. You take your victories where you can. Look, we're gonna get along great. You should use me as a mentor.
He looks at you turning green after lighting that cigarette up and says, is that your first cigarette ever?
No, it's a habit I picked up on Solaris.
I didn't realize all the cool people on Solaris smoked. Maybe I should be thinking about that.
In time.
Sorry, you're asking if the range master of a range is smoking menthols. I think no.
Okay. I don't know.
He's smoking Lucky Strikes.
Oh, nice. Working man. All right. I mean, that's cool. I think this is the start of a beautiful friendship.
He's smoking the Joe Camels, but back when they could still put the animated figure on the front of the label, and it's him standing in front of a pyramid with a martini glass in a suit.
What a deep cut. I know. What a damn deep cut. Okay.
I don't smoke, but I know what that label looks like.
This is marketing. This is where
Is
like,
it?
no,
They're
what I'm
literally
saying-
not allowed to use that logo.
No, my point is that like good marketing is it's stuck in your head.
Oh, I
Yeah.
guess that logo's the one they got in trouble for.
Yeah.
Marketing's
Well.
so good, the Supreme Court said they
Yeah.
aren't allowed to do it anymore.
Exactly. They got in trouble because it was effective, not the
Because
other way
when the
around.
victim- getting kids to smoke.
Exactly.
Not good. Effective and good are two different things.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. You told me to handle this. I'm going to inadvertently corrupt this kid.
Excellent.
That'll make maybe not so bad. Maybe there's hope for this kid. He can
I
thread
think
the
it's
needle.
you that we need to have hope for.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I was about to say like this.
I
may
love
help
that
you
your
one
recovery
day.
path is becoming a big brother has forced you to stop being a fuck up. That is a great story.
That is
honestly,
good.
it is. I wish I thought of it myself, and I'm glad you did because it's very good.
I didn't think of it. You pulled
We
this
pushed you
fucking
into
story.
it.
I know. Don't try to be like this is a great plan by Arthur. I was like, I need an event today to make sure they all enter the same room. So I'm gonna have a family member have an emergency. You're like, oh, Arthur, play for this. I was like, you three sat down at a table and had a discussion. This is not. I rolled with it. Don't act like I had some master plan. I didn't even know it was going to be Menelaus until like 10 minutes before I did it.
Love it.
When you put
Any
it that
closing thoughts about today's wild ass episode?
My thought is that you're the master of plans.
Yes. AP always has a plan. Doesn't matter.
Everything I
Appreciate
do
you.
has been completely planned out for years.
It's scripted. It's scripted.
It's all
Totally
scripted, yes.
literally scripted.
No. Thanks, AP, for steering me away from goals that wouldn't be helpful.
Oh, sure. Instead, you're just getting critical successes on destroying unions.
Hey,
Guiding them into an automation future.
I'm preparing them for the
Preparing
future.
them for the future. Yeah.
Yes,
They have to be
yes.
ready to overcome the struggles and challenges of the next generation.
This is the researcher mindset, okay? We're just driven towards progress. Doesn't necessarily matter the
The
cost.
oldest mine worker turns to the youngest, puts his hand on his shoulder, and says, "You have to learn how to use the machines. We're not going to use you kids in the mine no more."
Mm-hmm. Hey, I mean, I feel like in some way that's for the positive because the amount of black lung that the miners were getting was pretty bad. Anyway, that's another minor history fact.
It's a minor thing. Hey.
That's another one.
This is an entire episode of Leverage.
Well, I guess one closing thought is, did I by chance accomplish my goal of establishing a team?
I think you made a good enough start that I'm going to give you 500 XP for it.
Not 620 XP?
I think 500 XP. I'll give everybody 250 XP for collectively doing something about Menelaus, and then another 250 to Eric for being the only one to actually execute that plan.
All right.
That's great because I level up. So let's see, 250 plus 500.
I'm also willing to offer the rest of you 250 for working towards your goals, because you all did very strongly present towards your goals. I mean, getting Samuel Barrett back on the screen out of thin air.
What a full bag.
You do
Now,
love
he's
to
not
see it.
coming with a mercenary company behind him. He's just a man now. A legend, but just a man.
So that's 750 for Eric, 750 for me, and 500 for Sam.
Yes.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Damn.
Pretty solid
game, yeah.
XP, yeah.
Now, my understanding is that we are not good in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I believe I'm traveling.
Oh.
2 weeks from now is the 14th. Yeah, I will not be around. But I will probably be, yeah, I mean, I'll be there for the 28th. I should be.
Well, 20th is That's my wedding. 28th. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I might have a conflict on the 28th. I need to still confirm that wedding stuff. Like
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Audience at home, it could be 6 or more weeks before you get another episode.
But after that, hopefully I'm clear for most of the.
Will I be able to organize a match with Blades members versus Endosteel members in 6 weeks? It could happen, maybe.
That could be fun.
Stranger things have happened.
We had an answer. Radasaurus replied to my challenge with what, spelled W-U-T.
Well, that's a yes.
If I've ever heard one, I think that's a yeah.
I think he wants a clarification.
You put it.
That's it.
Oh
Fair
my
enough.
goodness.
We're gonna have a good afternoon. Audience at home, thanks for coming here, spending your time with us. Have a good rest of your day.